All right, folks, what we have here is a 2013 Nissan Murano with about 128,000 miles, almost 129,000 miles. Has a check engine light on. We're going to plug it in and scan it and see what it is. Let's check it out. See what it comes up as. It says the check engine light is on. Hit OK. Let's read the codes. It's one of 3 codes. Sometimes it's the same code. So there's a mass or volume airflow A circuit range performance. So this is the mass airflow sensor is not reading right. Same thing, but this one is pending. Let's go back. This is the current one. That's the pending. And that's the permanent one. The permanent ones will not come out until the problem is fixed. It'll come off automatically. All right. So when you have a P0101 mass airflow circuit range performance, that means that there's something wrong with it. It's not either not reading right, the air's not going across it right, or it could be a mass airflow sensor. But most of the times, it's usually maintenance. All right. So what we're going to do here today is first of all, we're going to disconnect this. Let's shut the power off. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to check. Make sure I got the key fob. What we do usually is we check the air filter first. Check the air filter condition first. If that's clogged, that's going to give you a performance problem because it can't breathe. All right. This is here is your mass airflow sensor in here. If you notice, it's going to be a little tiny circuit board with a little wire to it. If that gets contaminated with the dirt, that's going to give you a little problem. All right, there's a plug for that. And the other thing it could be is, very rarely, because it's actually after the mass airflow sensor, will be the throttle plate. So I would recommend the air filter. If it's dirty, we'll change it. Get a can of mass airflow sensor cleaner, spray that all up. And I would take it off with the rubber hose and clean the throttle plate while you're there. So that would be the 3 items that's related to the air intake going in. Okay, so it looks like here, besides that electrical plug, 2 clips to take this top piece off. That top piece off is attached to this square piece. Looks like almost like a vent, crankcase vent. That clamp looks pretty shady because it's rusty. I will probably just take it off of here. Take this top piece with this piece. And I'm going to disconnect the rubber boot from back there. I'm going to leave this one attached. All right? Because when you're playing with older cars, sometimes certain things can snap and break. You don't want to deal with that crap. All right? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to change the filter, blow out the mass airflow sensor. I want to clean the throttle plate. So what I did here was I went to AutoZone and I bought an STP air filter. This is the better one, the PSA4309. Otherwise, the plain one is just SA4309. I got this because I know my buddy Bruce over here doesn't change his filters as often as he should. So, this one here is the mass airflow sensor cleaner, CRC, also from AutoZone. And for the throttle plate, I usually use carburetor cleaner. Okay, gum out. You can buy the bootleg ones if you want. I always deal with gum out. It's only maybe $1 difference. I've been with them for years. That's what I'm going to use. All right. So that's it. Now I'm going to start removing all this stuff and get to it before the rain hits, because I see the rain is coming down now. All right, let's do it. Okay, in order to take this top cover off, there's 2 clips. One here, one here. Okay, this will pop out. Over here, this hose, get a pair of pliers, squeeze this little clamp here, and you can pry this out, put a little screwdriver on there, just slide it right out of here. Get a screwdriver, unscrew that clamp right there. You can leave the clamp on there. You don't have to remove it all the way. Okay. Back here, you got the mass airflow sensor plug. Just squeeze this little tab, pull it out. Over here, there's a little tiny Christmas tree clip that holds it to the housing. And back here, there's another one right there. Okay, that one clips onto the rubber piece over there. So once that is off, you should have clearance for takeoff. This should come right out. I have to wiggle it a little bit. Okay, it's coming out of there. It's coming out of here. Okay, should be able to lift it up, out of the way. A little bit on the heavy side because there's your sensor right there. Okay, there's your mass flow sensor. The air goes through it. It senses temperature and speed of how fast the air goes through it. All right, this is your throttle plate, which I'm going to clean. Let's see, go the dirt on it. Okay, you see a little here, but the back side of it is probably even more dirtier. All right, so I'm going to spray that all up, clean it with a nice rag. Don't use paper towels because if it gets caught on that blade, paper towel is going to get caught in there and it's going to suck it up in the engine. You don't want that. All right, this is the air filter that I want to change. Let's see how bad it is. Oh yeah, it's bad. Look at that. It's got crud in there too. All right, have to blow that out with a vacuum or an air gun. All right, yeah, this filter is not okay, people. This is a good reason why the mass airflow sensor will give you a problem. All right, if the dirt bypasses that, it gets into this piece, that'll be a problem. All right, so the mass airflow sensor stuff, we're gonna go and spray that all up. Spray it on both sides. We'll clean that up, we'll let that dry. We'll go with the throttle plate to clean that up. And I want to clean up that crud. Okay, the air intake must come from the bottom. Must come from in there, because I don't see nothing on top here. So yeah, just weird design. Weird design. We'll see how much we could blow out of there to clean. All right. So yeah. So let's start. Let's start with the easy stuff first. All right. I say we clean this thing up. We'll spray it up. Get the old cleaner. Use a nice little straw. I want to blast it off. All right. So I'm going to go and do that. All right, so I'm just going to show you briefly how I clean it. Just set it up somewhere. Take a little cleaner with the straw. And we'll spray that sensor all the way around. Okay. You don't need much because basically it was air. Okay. It's not like you're actually seeing real dirt. At least you're not supposed to. All right, and through here, same thing. Spray it around and the body around it. And we're just gonna let that dry. We're pretty much done with this. I'm gonna clean the throttle plate. All right, I'm gonna do that. Like I said, get a rag that doesn't fall apart. No paper towels. Spray it up in there. I usually like to use carburetor cleaner. Okay, and by the time you're done cleaning it, the engine, when it first starts, is going to run a little rough because you do have some carburetor cleaner that's going to be left over there and that's going to burn. All right, so just keep your foot on the gas pedal there and rev it up a little bit and it'll clear out with no problem. All right, so I'm going to do that. All right, so here we go. Carburetor cleaner, bunch of clean rags. All right, look at all the dirt that came out of it. Okay. Filthy. So like I said, throttle plate, only air is supposed to come through here. All right, so you see it is a smooth surface, so it's got to be a smooth surface. If you got dirt in there, the air that runs through it, it's not going to be smooth. It's going to create a little turbulence, and just like an airplane, you don't want a little turbulence. You just want smooth air. So all right, you clean it up. You stick one of your fingers in here. Just open this throttle plate. You want to clean the top of the plate, the bottom of the plate. Stick your hand as far as you can. Clean up this whole chamber. Okay, all the way in. If you want to, you can. Just remove it. That's what they want you to do. Remove it. Don't forget there's a gasket or an O-ring back there you have to replace. But I'm not going to go through that because sometimes there's water lines. See, that's attached to it. There's also electrical plug in it, and you just open them more can of worms, okay? Because we're not basically here for that. You have a code for a throttle body plate problem, then yeah, I would take it apart and clean it really, really good. But we're here for a mass airflow performance problem. All right, so that's going to pertain to the mass airflow sensor that we just cleaned, and we are going to go and blast this now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a clean rag, I'm going to shove it in there so I keep that covered, and I'm going to see if we're going to blow out this dirt here. All right, to the best that we can. All right, I'm going to do that. All right, there you go, nice and clean. All right, blew it all out. Got as much dirt as leaves and whatever we can out. Throttle body is clean. Make sure your harness that you're looking for is over here. Everything is not far out of the way for you to put it all together. And let's put it together because it's starting to rain. All right, let's go get it. All right, so we got our new filter. Like I said, this is the performance filter. That's why it's red. I'm going to stick it in there. Okay, make sure you see the 3 slots in the back, because that's where the housing goes into. All right, 3 slots go in. If it's not all the way down, you're going to have a little bit of a problem pushing it in. All right, let's see if I can do this with one hand for you guys. I'm going to tuck it in under the master cylinder here. Not bad. All right, I'm going to use my other hand though. I'm going to push it over the throttle plate over here. Push it in there. I'm going to straighten it out. Okay, I'm going to use my other hand. All right, you definitely need 2 hands to wiggle it on, especially when you put that rubber boot on there. And then since it's all attached, you got to turn this housing just a little bit so you can slide into the 3 slots and then snap it in. All right, so snap in 1, snap in 2. Back here, you're going to see the little hole right here. Right here is for this little Christmas tree clip to snap on. This one is this connector over here. Here a clip, and then there's a little clip back here. That's the Christmas tree, and it sits into the hole on the side. All right, so you could do that from here. Might have to do it with the left hand. Just snap it into the hole. Not gonna go nowhere. There you go. All right, what's left is the hose over here. Slide this little bugger in here. Dun, 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 dun. Much faster if you're not holding the camera, people. All right, so I'm gonna wiggle this on so it's all the way in. Plus, left hand is always awkward for me. There you go. Perfect. Pair of pliers. It's gonna pinch this and bring it in, and then I'm gonna do a screwdriver for that little round hose over there. All right. So let's get the pair of pliers here. Got it on the clamp. These squeeze clamps are pretty funny. All right, put it right on there. Slowly release, and you're done. All right, so that's that. That's that. We'll go connect that clamp hose in the back. That clamp. It's on a weird angle, but actually, if you have a long enough screwdriver, it actually makes it. Otherwise, sometimes you have to use a 1/4" drive with a little socket just for you to get in there, just so you can spin. All right, let's see here. Let's do this. Here you go. Spin it off enough to give you enough clearance. Some people screw it all the way out. They don't have to. All right. Are you tidy, people? That's nice and tight. That's nice and tight. 2 clips are on with a new air filter. The mass airflow sensor is plugged. The Christmas tree plugged there. Christmas tree plug here for the harness. And you are good to go. All right. We'll start it up. Actually, we'll clear the light first. So take all your tools out of the way, put them somewhere safe, because otherwise if you close the hood, sometimes you end up giving the customers free tools. All right, so I want to go start it up. All right, here we are inside. When to clear that check engine light, take your little trusty scanner, whichever brand that you have. I'm going to hit erase codes. See it? No, go back. Hit that by accident. Oh, I think I erased it already by accident. Dummy. But anyway, erase the codes. Yeah, it's off already. So I erased it already. All right, so let's shut it off. Step on the brakes. Let's start it up. Like I said, it's gonna run a little rough when it first starts because we sprayed all that carburetor cleaner in the throttle body. All right, so hold that at a good 1500, 2000 RPM. And clear it out in no time. All right, and there you go. Check engine light is gone. Now, usually the permanent one is still in there. Let's just see. I'm trying to do this without the glare there. Go erase codes. All right, it's been cleared. So there's no codes. Let's go back to the other one. Let's go to read codes. Okay, yeah. There you go. See the permanent one? That is always going to be on there until you drive it. Sometimes a day, sometimes a week, sometimes a month. Okay, the computer wants to know that you permanently fix the problem. Okay, so it's going to stay on there until it goes through a bunch of cycles of on and off, highway driving, street driving. Okay, and it'll come off, but it won't show up on your dashboard. Okay, you don't get a check engine light with a permanent code. That means that you did something to it and you fixed it supposedly, and it's going to sit there in the background until it definitely knows that you did something. Okay, that's it. We're done, people. Thanks for watching. This is the P0101 in a Nissan. This happens to be a Murano. Okay, but that could be on any engine with a P0101. Check the air filter, clean out the mass airflow sensor with the correct cleaner, clean out your throttle plate, and of course look around, make sure there's no broken hoses or cracked hoses or clamps broken or whatever that was sucking air past the mass airflow sensor. Okay, all right, people, thanks for watching. Ciao.